Catherine Ann, aka Kitty Pryde. First appearance, Uncanny X-Men number 129, January of 1980. Hey guys, you know who it is, what's going on, when it's happening, where it's at, and why we're here today. How you doing? It is I, the sublimely magnificent Big Ugly himself, Omari Ellis Feogrande on YouTube, back with another episode of the Whatever We Want podcast. And as usual, I am joined by my co-host, running mate, one of my best friends in the world, the man who bears watching, Superjaz.
Super Flash. Oh wait, Superjaz. As nature intended. Yeah. Yes. As he said, this is the Whatever We Want. Well, let me say first off, yes. You can call me Superjaz, Jazz, SJ, JT, whatever you want, what have you in the like. And as my co-host said so eloquently, this is the Whatever We Want podcast, where we do just that. We talk about whatever we want. We do not lead this conversation. This conversation leads us, and we let these chips fall where they may.
Every Wednesday, and this Wednesday, we are joined by a good old friend of ours, well, brother as well, like blood and figurative. Brother and friend of the show. You guys have seen him before. We've called him many things, but mainly we call this man Lebron.
What's going on? I just felt like I had to be here today.
Fair.
I mean, and as far as I'm concerned, yes, you did. So that's what's up. But hey, real quick before we get into whatever we're gonna talk about, aren't you the guy who introed this episode? Aren't you sometimes referred to as Pete on this show?
Sometimes.
Oh, okay. I was just making sure because you didn't fucking say it. Anyway.
Nope, sure didn't.
Fuck you!
How dare you?
Exactly.
Nope, sure didn't. Mr. Hulk Hogan over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it did. I literally saw you do it. I was like, back with another.
Were you gonna say it until I did that?
I was contemplating whether I should or shouldn't. But the more confident you seemed, the more I thought it'd be funny if I did, and I did think it was funny.
Okay, so I got an ultimatum for you that the annoying, funny-ish kind of running gag, but probably run into the ground of chips fall where they may, fall where they June, and all that. I'm gonna keep on doing that on the episodes where you don't say sometimes referred to as Pete on this show, and we gonna have a stupid little Zoom podcast fight if you don't do that. All right. Anyway, what are you gonna say? Word.
We're back, and we got a guest in the building.
My bad. Where are my manners?
How you
Both
doing,
y'all. No.
How you doing, Evan?
What's up, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How y'all doing?
I'm doing all right.
I'm doing okay, because despite the sadness that tonight's gonna give us, where the Lakers get swept in their series, I'm happy that I at least got to see
faith.
that. I'm happy that
Oh,
I
ye
at
of
least,
little faith.
Oh, me of it's right in front of me. We got two sweeps, and the other sweep is what makes me happy. Cause fuck the Celtics.
Right now, I'm
watching
watching the game. Oh yeah, I heard about it. I didn't watch it yesterday. I was doing other stuff. But right now, the Lakers are down by 4, third quarter. Minute left in the third quarter, and they're down by 6. Oh shit. Okay. Anyway, it's 93-87. But no.
Weren't they up by 15 at one point?
They were, but
Don't mind me.
they could look. Basketball is a game of runs.
As you were, gentlemen.
So
they are running away from the victory line.
I can see the Lakers come and do it. Look. Of the Lakers and the Celtics in each of their respective conference finals, of the two teams that I can see not getting swept, the Lakers. I can see the Lakers not getting swept because they have LeBron James. LeBron James was in a 3-1 deficit to win. He came back from 3-1 and he won the finals back in 2016 with the Cavs.
And LeBron James was 7 years younger at the time.
I mean, yeah, you're right. Yes, yes. Don't get me wrong. Yes, but he's been kind of in this situation before, so I can kind of see him.
Look, I want LeBron to win, but if he was gonna win a game, he would have done it before now.
No, you're right. You're right. That was the best time to do it was before any of this. You never want to be like this, of course.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying, if he was going to win any of these, it was going to be before now. But he's been swept before. He got swept by those same Warriors, and it was when he just couldn't carry his team any further. And he's got a better team this time than he did that time.
Yeah,
and so he's
and like I say, don't get me wrong. LeBron is 38 years old, but he's still playing at a high level. Like I say, he's not Heat LeBron or second Cavs stint LeBron, where when he got the ball, he was gonna take that shit over. He's not that type of dude. Or 07 LeBron, but this didn't have nobody around him. Mm-hmm. It's just like now he can't do what he was able to do. He's 38 years old. I mean,
yeah. I agree, and that's why they're getting swept, and it's unfortunate because I fucking hate I don't hate the Nuggets. I hate their owner for obvious reasons. And that makes me upset, but hey, we're not allowed to have nice things. But if the Celtics can be taken out by the Heat, I can at least have some reason to watch the finals. Because if it's Nuggets Celtics, I'm just not watching. Not that they really not that they give a fuck about some random dude from St. Louis. I get it, people. But the bottom line is, you're watching my show, so you get it by opinion. I'm not watching that finals if it's Nuggets Celtics because I don't want either team to win, and I'm not. I would rather the Nuggets than the Celtics because fuck the Celtics. Because I don't have anything against the Nuggets players or anything like that. Right. They can't control where they get drafted. And this motherfucker Kroenke hasn't even been to like a Nuggets game in or it was either Avalanche or Nuggets game in 7 years until they were in the championship thing. Because he doesn't give a fuck about the teams. He's trying to tank. It's trying to tank and accidentally becoming successful. Let me go grab random dudes from Europe that nobody wants but they don't really know that much about American money, so I can charge them cheap. Oh shit, I got a good one in Jokic. Oops. We don't. You got any European guys this year? No. Who do they say is left? There's this dude Jamal Murray that no one picked because he was injured or whatever. Yeah, I'll sign him. Whatever. He won't be good. Oh shit. Oh no, they're making you money because he wants his teams to be bad so he can move them like he did the St. Louis.
I don't know if he's gonna move the Nuggets. I ain't hear about that, but it's crazy what you say about Jokic because Jokic was drafted in the second round. In the NBA there are only 2 rounds, so he was drafted as one of the last picks in the draft. So nobody really knew he was gonna be this good, which is fucking crazy to me. So and then I'm with you on that when you say Nuggets Celtics is not going to be an entertaining one. I'm I don't know if I'm gonna watch it because I didn't really watch. See, Nuggets Celtics to me would be like Milwaukee and Phoenix a few years ago. I didn't really watch that one for real.
I was fine with that one because I like Giannis.
I didn't really watch that. I like Giannis too, and Chris Paul was cool. I ain't got nothing against Devin Booker.
Actually, yeah, I was fine with that one because it's either Giannis gets one and they've been trying to replace LeBron with somebody for all these fucking years. And Giannis looked like he finally had a chance to be that guy they want him to be. Meanwhile, you had Chris Paul, who everyone's been shitting on forever because he didn't have a ring. And so it's either Chris Paul gets his first and it's the much deserved, hey, old dog, you finally got one. Or Giannis proves, he starts living up to the expectations people have been heaping on him. Mm-hmm. Unlike a certain process man. But, process man can't.
Embiid.
Man can't do it by himself, Him and James Harden, when they're only scoring like less than 30 points combined, they can't do it alone, guys.
They straight gave up, man, in that last round.
They can't do it alone, guys. That was such BS.
Yeah, for Embiid to even say that. I like Embiid too, but why would you even say? Why would you even say something like that? That's disrespectful to your fucking teammates, bro. Like, what is that shit? That's disrespectful as fuck. They play harder than y'all two did. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, for real. Like, what? That was so damn stupid, man. But no. Hats off to the Heat. Hats off to Jimmy Butler. Hats off to the Heat. That's an all dog team right there, man. Them motherfuckers, like I said before, they know you're better than them, but they're not going to give up. That's the whole thing about them. They know you're better than them, but they're not giving up.
Well, it's talent versus hard work.
Right, of course. Boston's is much better than Miami, but they're whooping their ass because they just got to fighting them. Good. You know, that's what it is. Look at what I mean, I hate to say it, but look at New England and the Rams back in the day, back in 01 when the Rams lost. The Rams were much better than the Patriots that year.
There were other things that played into that, and you know it.
Okay. I ain't talking about that. But let me say what I gotta say. Because everybody picked the Rams to win because the Rams had the much better team. They did. The Rams had a much better team. You had the MVP of the league, Kurt Warner. You had the MVP of the year before.
And we got humiliated in front of everybody.
The best running back in the league, Marshall Faulk. The two best receivers in the league, Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt. Then you had a good defense. Then you had a great offensive-minded coach. But they ran into a coach. I know. Yes, I know what you're going to say. They cheated. Yes, I know that. Hold on, no.
But my only question is: are you saying the Heat are doing the same thing? Because I'm saying the Heat worked harder than the Celtics.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. No. What I'm saying is the Patriots, outside of the so-called cheating, outside of that, the Patriots, they knew how to beat the Rams, man. They knew how to exploit what the Rams are doing. Because if you look at them, they were hitting the Rams hard, hitting them before they got the ball. Well, not before they got the ball, but they were hitting them hard and all that shit. So, okay. I know you don't want me to give them any.
So that this analogy can work. You're right. The Rams showed up. They didn't play well. They didn't try. They just sat there and shot the bed. And the Patriots
I'm not saying that.
tried harder. I'm not saying that. The Patriots tried harder, worked harder, had better teamwork than the Rams who quit and gave up.
Oh shit,
and just
LeBron
sat on the bench.
Oh, he's good.
So yes, you're right. It's the same thing. We'll leave it there.
I'm not saying that. I am not saying that. What I'm saying is, like you said, the Heat are playing their asses off. They're number 8 seed. They say, well, look, we're not going down without a fight, and bam. Mm-hmm. So maybe me saying that shit with the Patriots was not a good analogy. I thought it was.
I get your point.
I thought it was, yeah. But okay.
If anything, it's more like Eagles Patriots.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, man, who you think is gonna be in the Super Bowl this year, man?
I don't know. Chiefs and shit, the losers. I mean, there's nobody in the NFC that's like Chiefs level. AFC, I don't know anybody that's really on their level. I mean, yeah, the Eagles, but
San Francisco.
They already got lost. Oh, with Sam Darnold?
No, not him.
Every Brock time Purdy. You say that dude's name,
Brock Purdy
can say that.
He said it just like
here's the thing though with that though. I think anybody could win as the quarterback for San Francisco because you got Deebo Samuel, you got Brandon Ayuk, and you got Christian McCaffrey. So if you can't win, yeah, but if you can't win with them three, you suck as a quarterback. You suck. And San Francisco's defense is really fucking good. So like it's almost Trent Dilfer level type shit. Almost.
What was Sam Darnold's first football team?
The Jets, and he was trash. Yes.
Yeah, and when you're a Jet all the way. He
So you're saying
sucked with the
so you're
Jets.
saying Aaron Rodgers is gonna be trash this year?
I mean, Brett was. I mean, Brett's also trash
okay.
of a human being, but
Fuck him.
But nonetheless, good. It's still a parallel. Good Green Bay quarterback that played 20 years and only won one championship with Green Bay leaves to go after threatening retirement to go to New York. One by choice because he actually retired and then came back. The other by trade, but he also really wanted that trade. Nonetheless, they still did it. Brett, one of the worst seasons he's had in a long time. Rodgers, I'm expecting the same because he wasn't that good last year because I had him on my fantasy team. Now he's going to the Jets.
But he didn't have nobody around him though. That's the thing about it in Green Bay. Yeah, his team sucked dick. So I don't know. He did look bad too though. He did.
Yeah.
I say KC, and I'm not saying it because I'm biased. I mean, I kind of am biased because I'm a Chiefs fan. But
home state team.
Huh?
I said home state team.
Yeah, and I'm just a Chiefs fan. Period. You can't count Mahomes out. Mahomes is the best player in the NFL right now.
I did.
And then I didn't say you did. And then in the AFC also you got Baltimore, Cincinnati, who's always been like a rock in the Chiefs' shoe, and shit like that. And then NFC, San Francisco and Philly. That's all I can say.
Didn't the Chiefs beat them last year?
Yeah, but they just Chiefs they've always played each other tough. Always.
Fair enough.
So
I like Joe Burrow. I thought he was
I do
cool.
too.
Unfortunately, he's got one thing going against him, and that's that he lost his first Super Bowl. And quarterbacks that lose their first Super Bowl usually never fucking make it back.
Is that really like
Newton is a good one.
I'm saying is that like a statistic that is kind of, I'm not gonna say pull up then tell me but I'm saying is that like a thing that does kind of happen?
I forget all the exact names, but we brought this up last year on the show, and it was more fresh in my mind. But probably yes, it's a recent thing. Like you can win your first and then lose your second, and then you can still win however many more or make it back to however many more you want. But you gotta win that first one.
Because I was gonna say John Elway lost his first. He lost like his first like 3.
Yeah,
and then won like his last 2. So
also not.
That's back in the 80s. Yeah, back in the 80s. So
yeah.
So
that was back when they played. How many games did they play? Was that 13 or was that?
They played 16. They played 14 games all the way up to the 70s. I want to say like 70.
I knew they played like a few less.
72, and then they started playing 16 games, and then just like 2 years ago they
doing 17.
Yeah,
they're doing 17. They started doing it 2 years ago.
That's so weird because even you told me that, and I was like, what?
It's a money thing, man. It's a money thing.
Because it made sense. 32 teams, half it, that's 16 games.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Like, the fuck? Why do you have like one extra fucking game?
Money.
Keep the league going for like
But the
league going.
That odd
broadcast for one more game, so you get one more games worthy of tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah, that odd number of games though, it's just weird. Every time
it's odd to have an odd number of games in any tournament style. Any tournament,
not even tournament style, just
competitor type shit. It's odd to have an odd number of matches.
Not even tournament style, just sports league. Period. Like because you look at basketball, they play 82. Hockey plays 82. Baseball plays 162. It's always an even number. It's always an even number. So, and they always play an even number in football until now.
But that's why I was saying it's I say tournament style obviously loosely based because I was saying not just sports but anything where there's competitor type stuff and you weed down all these people then this many to have like an odd number is odd.
No, it is. You're right. It is.
It's just like everything is supposed to even, for like a better word, but even
and then
it's like,
and then you look at the records and stuff like that. Like you can't compare. It's hard to compare records from 16 game seasons to 17 game seasons now because they got that extra game.
Well, I mean, how the hell did you compare records from the fucking 70s when it was like 14 or whatever the fuck to 16? Shit.
I mean, they kind of did because like people say O.J. Simpson is probably the best running back to ever do it because he's the first one to run for 2,000 yards in a 14 game season.
Right, so he did it in less time. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
That's fair.
So he did. He covered the. He covered.
What'd you say?
I agreed with you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What he said was, he said he's good at running.
Oh, yeah, he is. Probably he probably. Is.
Oh man.
But
just
yeah, that's
just like when it comes to golf and the way Tiger was juggling the ball, he's good at hitting stuff on the side.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Speaking of legends or people who will be considered by some as legends of their game, albeit not the best of their game, and thus people will always have something to have say naysay. Yet another humiliating exit for LeBron James in the playoff, swept by the Nuggets.
I'm just laughing because like that whole like fucking segue.
What, people, the whole time Tiger Woods was doing his shit, a lot of people were like, Tiger Woods is the best ever. Then you had your people, what about Jack Nicholson? He's got 40.
Jack Nicklaus.
I'm like, I was seriously about to be like, is there a golfer named Jack Nicholson that I don't know about? I wasn't even trying to play.
His name is Jack Nicklaus.
Yeah, that
Nicholson.
guy.
That's like that one dude that he was stalking Jamie Lee Curtis and trying to kill her, but he also went and was like a British spy for a minute. Michael Myers. Haha.
I was like, Jamie Lee Curtis wasn't in The Shining. That's all I was thinking.
Oh my god.
Can we talk about LeBron James now, please?
My joke was bad. But the fact that your brain,
you guys are just y'all are just killing me right now. Can we talk about LeBron, please?
Do you know what show you on? Come on now. Hey, Ibn, what are we talking about exactly? Okay, go ahead.
Anyway, yes, yet another humiliating exit from Mr. LeBron James.
Now look,
stained the legacy, etc., etc.
You can't blame LeBron for this. But I know everybody's going to because everybody just hates on him.
He had the ball in his hands with the chance to win.
People do hate on him.
Yes. But he played the whole game and he scored 40 points.
And
so
that's not what anyone remembers.
He's one of the only ones that was doing something.
I agree that he was dealing with doing something, but I guarantee you tomorrow all it's gonna be is LeBron let him down again. If it's not already out there tonight.
I said that.
The fact that this guy is never going to be remembered as good as he is, despite like filling up the fucking record sheets, and people are just going to be like, well, he played 20 years, so of course he did.
He's the greatest scorer of all time. He beat fucking Kareem Abdul-Jabbar this year.
People say that's a longevity thing, so it doesn't matter.
And that's bullshit because Kareem got it because of his longevity. I mean, come on now.
But Kareem went to college. LeBron came straight out of high school. He had an advantage.
The one, because he was playing for more years.
He got started in the NBA earlier when he was younger. So even though he played, this many years, he didn't have that mileage on him.
I'm not saying
which is
that.
What some people say. Now,
some people will say that.
I'm not saying. Go ahead. I was going to say I'm not saying this is true, but some people would also say that Kareem is better because there was no 3-point line.
So there is that. There's also that because people.
That's a big factor that people.
So again, LeBron doesn't really have anything good to set his legacy on. Only thing he had because he loses more in the playoffs more often than he wins. And that's just what it is. He is more known for losing on the biggest stage than he is, and it makes people like myself, who's been a LeBron James fan for years, look even dumber every time. I still like LeBron, but much like being a Panthers fan and using to be a Rams fan and being like another fan of other stuff I like, it is what it is. I gotta look stupid for liking it because they don't back it up with winning.
Well,
No, but I will say this. LeBron, I'll never forget. I remember when he was hyped up in high school, and they were putting his games on ESPN, his high school games on ESPN. I was a freshman in high school. His first game in the NBA, I remember telling my mother, "They say, hey, mama, this is dude named LeBron James coming out of high school." And I remember watching this game on TNT. They played Sacramento. I remember watching that first game. I was 14 years old. I'm about to be 34 this year, man. And this motherfucker's been playing for that fucking long. That is fucking crazy.
I was about to say, he was a sensation when he started, and to still be playing at a high level for 20 years.
It's wild. It's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but
I respect LeBron, and you're right. I respect the fact that he played. I think he played the entire game tonight.
He did. I said that. He did.
Anthony Davis sat down and took a break. But LeBron's old ass played all 48 minutes and still couldn't get it done when he had the ball in his hands with a chance to win. And again, that's all people gotta remember. Doesn't matter the good things. That's the downside to sports, Jazz, and that's why people get so. I mentioned it in a video. I mentioned it in a video on the my other channel on the other show. This guy hasn't seen new episodes every week on Tuesday. Anyway, yeah, shout outs to Bill. We did a thing about the Cardinals World Series win this year, and part of it we talked about like why we like sports.
2011 win.
I showed off my ring and everything, my replica ring. Anyway. One of the things I've mentioned is like the intensity that comes when you know that these people are out here playing this game or whatever, and literally everything they do out there, they are going to be judged for and remembered on, and they're either going to be, and either way, they're going to be etched into like history as some sort, and one shot. One dribble can determine whether you're remembered as a hero or like terrible or whatever. And there's
look at little. I was to say, look at Kawhi Leonard when he had that crazy ass buzzer beater. That made that motherfucker a superstar.
That nigga has not played a full season since.
I know, pretty much.
But a couple times in the playoffs.
Yeah. But everybody will remember him for that shit.
They still put him in top fives.
Yeah.
Who was my dude that
they rate him over LeBron? Like it's
like
current player. Like as the year was going, they're like, oh, Kawhi's still good. LeBron's on the decline. We got Anthony Davis. That's the Lakers now. And then Kawhi gets injured for a bunch of games, and they're like, there it goes again. But all Kawhi got to do is come back, and they like. This is where Kawhi takes off and takes the Clippers.
Who was my dude? Who was my dude that saved the Super Bowl for the Rams that year? I forget his name. Who made that tackle? The last.
Oh, Mike Jones. Mike Jones.
See, right.
Mike Jones.
But you see, right? Like we remember his name because he's like legendary, and that was an amazing tackle. It was an amazing fucking tackle.
It was.
But remember his name. But I mean. Did he do really too much?
He wasn't shit before that. He wasn't shit since.
Someone made a commercial about that when they were hyping up the Super Bowl. There was a Super Bowl commercial.
Don Cheadle.
He had like a rope, and he pointed to where he stopped him, and then inches later, right on the end zone line, he was like, It was a cold ass commercial because it was an amazing play where he stopped the crucial. Would have made you lose, like
no. It would have tied the game up.
He stopped the crucial. Would have tied the game up. Run like inches from the fucking touchdown.
Yeah,
I will never forget that. We were in Mama's room.
Remember him for that. So you're right.
Yeah, we were in Mama's room going crazy over that shit. That was such a good time.
That man is forever legendary, and it's like I said
in St. Louis.
Yeah, and what did he really? No offense, what did he really do? Like,
that's what I'm saying. Before that,
for the team, he won a championship.
There you go. He wasn't known. He wasn't known before that. Yeah,
like
he wasn't known before that. And
one thing,
yeah, he wasn't known before that. He wasn't known since. So
yeah. I was kind of half kidding when I said when you said Mike Jones.
I know. I know.
No, I know. No, obviously, we know. You guys know what you're getting at. It been completed the reference. I said I was half kidding because I forgot the man's name. I remember the play.
No.
I don't remember him doing anything before or after. So while I said who because of the rapper, I was also who. So yeah, that's why I said I was half kidding. Anyway,
That rapper with a W in front. No, go ahead.
The bottom line is there's also, or not the bottom line, but another example of however good you were, no one gives a damn. I might have mentioned him on here, but there's a guy that makes videos on YouTube, John Boyce, something along those lines.
John Boyce.
He had a series called
I love John Boyce.
Pretty Good.
I love that shit.
And he did an episode on one Lonnie Smith, who was a Cardinals player, as well as, I believe, Royals and some other teams. Bottom line is, he was really good in the 80s. He had a whole bunch of, like, good shit. Or maybe it wasn't Lonnie Smith, but I think it was. There's a couple of things where he goes through the whole video like, man, this guy's really good, dooby-dooby-dooby-doo, and talks about his stuff. Also talks about his up and downs of his career. And then he talks about, okay, I've been dreading this part. Let's fucking talk about it. World Series games.
Oh, I saw that. I saw that with the Twins.
Bottom of the night.
Some dumbass base running. I saw that
shit. He runs bad on one play. His team. His team still has 2 or 3 more chances to win it anyway. Like with other at bats after him, and they shit the bed. But because of that one play, nobody remembers him as being good. They remember him being the guy that cost the World Series. So LeBron,
with the guy,
unfortunately, will be remembered forever as a loser because he's lost way more than he won. And his most recent thing was losing again in another humiliating defeat, being swept by the Nuggets.
I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say LeBron's gonna be.
You gotta go down with a fight.
Yeah, but he look. LeBron did in this game, man. Okay, in this game he did.
I don't know basketball.
In pretty much every game.
And then we don't watch basketball as much as others. But
let me show you what I'm gonna say. 40. That's what I'm saying. Right. So you can't say that LeBron is gonna be remembered as a loser. LeBron is gonna be remembered as the greatest of his generation, man.
Yeah.
He's gonna be remembered as the greatest of his generation. Yes.
3 weeks ago, they were talking about replacing him with Steph Curry if he lost that series.
Well, I was just about to say, Steph might be the greatest of his generation. LeBron might be the greatest of the millennial generation.
No. Okay, Jazz. The millennials, Jazz, they're only 3 years apart. Man.
But I mean, no. But I like I said again, I am the most casual out of this conversation. Yes, but from what I'm hearing and everything, I would think if we were going to say it, LeBron is going to be considered one of the all-time greats. Yes, he's going to be considered.
He's the greatest of his generation.
Him and Jordan, but the greatest of this generation it's be
LeBron.
What people say Steph would be this generation, and LeBron.
It's LeBron.
You let me talk though.
What you're saying is dumb.
Let me talk. You let me talk.
Say it.
I don't know if you're going to talk. I don't know if you're going to talk though.
Say
What I was saying was, would it be that not so much LeBron of this generation, but the generation right before Steph? That's all I'm saying.
LeBron is the greatest of his generation. This generation is LeBron's generation. LeBron is the greatest of his generation.
So the greatest of the generation before LeBron was Jordan, right?
Yes.
Now, I'm gonna hit you with what I hear all the other people
probably the greatest
saying.
of all time. Probably greatest of all time.
Who?
Michael Jordan.
Oh, definitely. Especially now. Because, again, LeBron is more known for his defeats than he is for his wins.
So, who is not?
Yes, he is. Like, when they talk about Curry over LeBron, they mention the fact that
that's because they hate him.
That 3 of Curry's championships came directly at LeBron's hands.
But look at this, though. Think about this, though. Steph Curry, okay, look. LeBron, for a lot of his career, he was the only motherfucker worth the goddamn on his team.
Yeah.
So
Well, the
so
way
like
I don't even got to watch the sport like that to know that one. Yeah.
so he never really had nobody on his team until he got to Miami.
and he's
So
only had people on his team since, with the exception of 1 year in 2018 with
2018, yeah. Yeah. And yeah, with J.R.
Oh,
Smith,
I've seen that pick. I've seen that
Yeah,
pick.
yeah. And 2015 when Kevin Love and Kyrie both went down and the motherfucker pretty much he was the best player on the goddamn court, but they had to get an MVP to somebody on the winning team, so they gave it to Iguodala. Come on, man.
what are you talking about?
Come on, man. So you can't say
Future of the Earth on the line. The aliens had the gun pointed at humanity. Shot, survival on the line. I want Iguodala.
that's what I'm saying, right? Like, what the fuck?
Okay, Max Kellerman talking about Steph Curry's not clutch, but if the fate of the universe was on the line, if anyone's taking that shot on the team for the Warriors, if he could have anybody, he wanted Iguodala.
I can't believe that man said that shit. Okay.
Who would you
Just
say
years ago, though.
who would you say out of curiosity might be considered the best after LeBron? Man? Like the next generation.
After LeBron, I mean, it's hard to tell. Probably Jokic, man.
You wouldn't think consensus. I'm not saying who should. I'm talking about consensus wise. You wouldn't think that people might say Steph would be next up as far as best player of the generation.
No, because Steph Curry's good. Yes, he's the greatest shooter of all time, most probably of all time.
Shooting definitely. I'm talking about period.
Nikola Jokic probably, man. I'm looking at this dude right now. He is crazy, man. Like
you think he not deserved. You think consensus wise people will say that.
Consensus wise, probably Nikola Jokic. Yes, probably him.
I can't say now.
I don't know if casuals know Jokic.
No, they don't. They don't. He's not that much.
That's why I say
he's not that much of a. He's not a breakout star. If you look at the motherfucker,
and that's why I say what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah. If you look at him, you would not think he's a basketball player. He does not look athletic at all. But that motherfucker is crazy good. Oh my God, he's good.
I mean, he just beat the shit out of LeBron.
Yeah.
But yeah, and what I was saying is, yes, I'm not stupid. I know LeBron went off for 40 points, but at the end of the day, he gets the blame for winning, and he definitely gets the blame whenever they lose. They never look at LeBron's others.
That's because the haters, and LeBron just for some reason has got haters. Like I don't get it.
Yeah, he's the haters. And that's the thing. LeBron's greatness has always been up for debate. To Jazz's point, like there's no category that LeBron has except for maybe scoring, and even then we tore that apart with the whole technicallys about Kareem's record. Steph is at least has one category or two things that he can definitively say, yep, Steph's that dude. One, best shooter. Two, the fucking influence on the NBA that he had.
Yes. Yes.
He's the reason that everybody showed up to.
That's all they do nowadays.
And again, another reason why people will blame this series on LeBron. He kept trying to shoot threes, and he made one the whole postseason.
He kept missing them. I'm like, stop shooting them damn threes, nigga.
Yeah, so they are going to blame LeBron for tonight's loss because he kept trying to shoot threes even when he already had 40 points going in for two.
But yeah, Steph did. He rewrote it because he made it where you have.
All they do now. That's pretty much all they do now.
Steph Curry sinks so many damn threes.
Yeah, that's pretty much all they do now. All they do now is shoot threes.
If it was a video game, his dot under him would not ever turn red until he got all the way across the court. That shit is green as fuck, right?
You play NBA Jam, he'd be on fire within 30 seconds of the game.
Right.
And he wouldn't lose it. He wouldn't lose it.
Right. So yeah, that's the whole thing with that one. Right. Steph Curry would do a game breaker on NBA Street too. And the fucking gap be 10 points or some cheating ass shit. Man, because he changed it. He did change it.
But Yep.
But that's why.
But I'm more egg on our face.
I'm glad I was able to see a great though from high school all the way to whenever he retires, because when Michael Jordan was playing, I was a kid and I really didn't
yeah.
understand what I was looking at. I didn't get what I was looking at. So I
most
knew because everybody said he was the greatest of all time, but
We were young.
I'm looking at LeBron like I know basketball now. So I'm
The
glad I'm
most
able to see
we
that.
really like, we really got to see of Jordan at that age was Space Jam. To be honest.
No, I remember seeing him play.
No, but I mean,
Jazz.
us being kids, the most we got to like get to know Jordan, so to speak. We didn't get to know him.
Oh.
He became iconic to us because we knew he played b-ball, but then Space Jam came out. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
but
it was more so from the movie side, like that movie side, and less from the b-ball side because we were children.
He was iconic to me though because of basketball. Everybody was saying he was good, and then Space Jam took it over the edge, like you said. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I'm about to say, to Jazz's point, because I was a late bloomer when it came to paying attention to sports. I only knew Michael Jordan was good because people told me he was good. I didn't know shit about watching. I would not have been able to tell you for a lot of years why. It's just, nigga's the best. That's just what it is. And then Space Jam comes out, and they still tell you he's the best, but I see him playing with Bugs Bunny, and I'm like, well, yeah, he the best. I see now. I got something. He the best, and there's my proof. Space Jam. I'm a kid. I took a lot of things at face value as a kid. I knew it was a cartoon.
I mean, we all did.
But I'm just saying, to Jazz's point, now, like I said, now you clearly saw the stuff in action. I remember the whole... It's the Bulls playing and being happy that the Bulls won because Chicago was only like 4 hours from St. Louis. So that was the closest thing I had to a home team. So like, yeah, Michael Jordan, Bulls, yeah, that's cool.
What is it like the?
I didn't know shit about basketball. I thought Muggsy Bogues was cool too because he was short and I was short. So
Muggsy Bogues is 5'3". Can you believe that?
5'3". He's shorter than me.
Yes,
I'm 5'6".
In the NBA.
Do you know how cold? You know how fucking cold?
I can only believe it because I saw it. Yes.
Yeah.
You know how cold you gotta be to be considered not just equally good, but better and one of the best of all time when you are literally 1.5 to 2 feet shorter than everybody on the fucking court.
I don't know why one of the best of all time, but he was really good.
He's considered one really good. In like maybe like top 15 to a lot of people at least.
I don't know about that, but he was really good. I don't know where
he was one of the people whose talent got stolen on Space Jam, motherfucker. I don't know basketball that well.
Oh, you mean at the time the movie came out?
At the time the movie came out,
okay,
yes.
Let's say one of the greatest in the league at the time it came out.
At the time, yeah. But of all time, I don't know about that. Of all time, I don't know about that.
Okay. Again. Casual.
Yeah, that's why it's by like olive branch to meet the two arguments.
He was really good.
Clearly, he wasn't a chump, right? Because if they would have stolen his talent and he was shit, I got his talent. They motherfuckers over here like shooting air balls.
They stole this dude's talent. His name was Sean Bradley, and everybody say he's one of the worst players ever. So that white guy, yeah. They say he's one of the worst players ever. So
they took,
I don't know.
They took Barkley and Ewing's talent though, so shit.
Yeah. Bro, Charles Barkley and Patrick Ewing can't
talent
shit.
Folks with rings, and that's why they lost. I don't
Who you talking about?
Kemp won any. Ewing didn't win a championship. No. I highly doubt Muggsy did. Charles didn't.
No.
Kemp.
If Sean Bradley was that shitty,
Sean Bradley, not Kemp. Kemp was good. Sean Bradley, and who was the fifth guy?
The fifth guy.
Muggsy, Ewing, Charles, Sean.
I don't know off the top of my head.
It was another black dude, right? Because he was their other tall dude.
Yeah, because there was only one white dude out of the five.
It was like the other tall one.
Damn, who was it? I know you're talking about, right. Who was the other dude, man? Oh, shit.
But if that guy ended up not winning the championship, we can tell why they lost. And I like all the players, I think, except for the two who I don't fucking remember, like Brantley and other guys who we can't name.
What you're saying is they should have stole from like the big three from the Bulls and then like two other good motherfuckers. Jordan was opposite them, but they should have stole like Rodman and fucking
you definitely go to like the Rockets or Bulls at that time. Or Shaq.
Yeah, get Shaq in
Shaq
there.
was playing at that time. You want a big
Larry
dude.
Johnson. Larry Johnson, that was the guy.
How many championships he got?
Huh?
How many championships he got?
Zero.
Exactly. That's why they lost.
And Pete's theory is proven. Ain't that a man? So that's why they stole the talent to be able to play that good, but not enough. Yeah.
They were good, but they couldn't win when it mattered.
Now watch this happen to be the episode that like all of a sudden gets like thousands of views and everybody's like, these they don't know what they talking about. We get like all comments of people telling us that we ain't shit and we don't know what we talk about. What was I gonna say? But no, the one thing that with LeBron too though that will mess him up, which you basically were like getting at Pete to an extent, is that no matter how good or bad he is, he will forever just kind of be in Jordan's shadow to an extent. He's always
he always was.
He already wasn't going to escape it, but I always figured, let's say as opposed to an absolute 0%, there was like a 0.5 or 5% chance that if he could somehow get to 6 rings, in a lot of people that would swing the pendulum a lot more in his way, because 6-6 versus 6-0. 6-0 kind of sounds cooler, but at the same time, nigga, I made it 6 more times. You didn't ever made it again. Who's to say that other 0?
That is a good argument.
More numbers.
And plus,
I will not win 6 times, but I made it there 12 times. Yeah.
And plus, LeBron was in the finals for 10 years in a row, so that's fucking wild in the first place.
Or damn,
but that's fucking crazy in the first place.
Almost completed the decade. That's part of why I started.
Not 9. 9 years in a row. Yeah,
he almost completed the decade. I wanted him to complete it the decade, just to be like, okay. But LeBron, people in his thing never really had to deal with them. He ruled the Eastern Conference for a decade.
He did. For 9 years, man. That's fucking wild, man.
Tell them
in a row.
Tell them niggas that LeBron wasn't anything to go up against. Oh, the East is easy to get out of. Tell Toronto. Tell LeBronto. They had to change the fucking name unwillingly. Because that's what the people called them. Because he swept their ass, no matter how high-seated they were. They came in thinking they was hot shit, and they swept them. And then they're like, we'll see you later from LeBronto. And it's like, damn, y'all can't do shit to LeBron. And they just sitting there like, and they got DeMar cut off the team despite being good. He embarrassed them so bad, they had to get Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, that 2018 run that LeBron had in that 2018 playoffs, that is one of the greatest playoff runs I've ever seen in my life. He pretty much did that all himself. That was wild.
Did that sweep happen when he had the fucking J.R. Smith? That's even fucking worse. Okay. But we'll never talk about that, and that's what sucks.
Right. Well, what I'm gonna say,
we'll forget that.
It doesn't just happen in sports though. It happens in anything that's like, like media, like you consume like shit like that. Cause for instance, like we've brought his name up a lot on this show, but
CM Punk.
I was gonna say Eminem. Like, okay, Eminem is putting out some stuff right now that is making people, people ain't feeling it, ain't that whatever. But people forgetting just how big and how like much of a phenomenon and how much we love this dude with his first 3 albums and all this shit.
No, like, you can't. That's not the same thing, man. People will always remember Marshall Mathers LP as one of the greatest.
No, you do not understand how many people really act as if. Almost like a lot of people act almost as if like nowadays, and it's also because we're older, so there is a younger generation who didn't see Slim Shady LP and see this man mature and get older throughout, and we see his discography and all this shit. So they get introduced to him now, like what you were saying with Jordan, where you were told Jordan was good, so you just had to kind of see for yourself or believe it or choose to, whatever. So all they're seeing is Eminem's supposed to be this great, but you won't believe how many people now, especially of the generation, the younger generation, but even our generation, act like Eminem never was good.
Who
A
is
lot of
saying
people
that?
do. A lot of people act like this.
Well, that's some
Of
idiots.
course, this is some internet type ish, but a lot of people act like this, man. A lot of people
I've never
act.
seen anybody say that. I've never seen anybody say that. So,
I've seen some stuff where people
and
are
if
trying.
somebody's saying that, they fucking dumb as shit.
But
Now, don't
that's
get me
what
wrong.
people remember.
But that's what I'm getting
And
at.
that's the age we're in.
That's the parallel that I'm making from what you're saying is because heavy is the head to wear the crown, and at one point Eminem wore the crown because it is well documented, for better or worse, the best-selling music artist of the 2000s is Eminem. It is,
he is, but he ain't
um,
he ain't the greatest of all time. Let's say that.
but basically what I'm saying is Eminem was
that's
like
what he was saying
phenomenon, huh?
What you
I'm
say?
saying I don't think Jazz was making the argument he's the greatest of all time. He said
At
one point he wore the crown, and that was 2000s, is what he said.
Yeah.
At one point, Ye wore the crown. At one point, Wayne wore the crown. At one point, 50 wore the crown for a minute. Doesn't mean that they were the greatest, but they wore the crown of the.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
I was just throwing it out there because a lot of people say he's the greatest of all time, and it's because he's white.
Well, I've always said that Eminem gets both too much and not enough praise because he's white. Because some people discredit him because he's white, and some people put him way too high on a pedestal because he's white. So that's just how it is. He even said that shit in the song "White America."
Yeah.
That whole song is I'm white. Oh shit! Is that why I'm selling records? That's what that whole fucking song is about.
Yeah, but you brought up a point with CM Punk, because I know another thing we usually discuss when we have him on the show is wrestling.
Yeah. So I was saying, he was saying everybody remembers you. They don't you know how good you are. They remember for when you fuck up. So when CM Punk had that fucking press conference back in September, now everybody hates him because of that and the fucking brawl out. So now I'm going online. And people are just tripping, man. They hate this man because of all this shit, and they don't want him back at all for this Collision show. And now he's going online and doing all this shit on his little Instagram stories and shit and calling people out and all that shit. And I'm like, yo, chill, y'all. This is not that fucking serious.
Yeah.
Damn, chill the fuck out. He's frying people's brains, man.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
seeing this shit, they're taking it too personally.
At the end of the day, none of this stuff in the grand scheme of our lives is as serious as some people make it. None of this shit.
No, they're not. No.
The sports, fucking the rap music, Eminem, whatever shit, the wrestling. None of this shit is that fucking serious. Some people really do act as if you fucking said that your mama ain't shit.
When you go out there and you say you're a fan of something, and that something is not justifiable, people look at you like you're a fucking idiot and they judge you for it. I go out there and if I were to wear a LeBron James jersey tomorrow, people would make fun of me and talk about how stupid I am for rooting for the
That's how I look at it.
No, I'm just saying. Now, yes, I could say that, but I'm not the average person. I'm used to making a fool out of myself in a public fashion, regardless of how many people are watching. Eventually, somebody will stumble upon the news. Bottom line is, I'm not the average person, and we are definitely in a day and age where anybody saying something about you that you don't like can be considered damn near a suable offense or a reason to fucking attack somebody. So the fact of the matter is, what people are saying to you and saying about you matters a lot to people. And when you decide to publicly state your opinion about something, you just have to hope that you have people who agree with you, because otherwise you're the subject of ridicule, and people don't like being ridiculed. And therefore, when they hear, I like this, well, I like this, hence the Twitter thing you guys know, or the Twitter meme that you guys used as a Instagram meme, or basketball, or wrestling sports meme, or some meme you guys shared the other day of, I don't like apples. So you saying you hate oranges?
I texted that to y'all.
That's what people hear when you say you don't like what they like. That's not just the internet, that's a lot of people. It's like, oh, you don't like what I like, so you're judging me as less of a person and you're insulting my intelligence for liking what I like. Okay, now, obviously, because social media is the way it is, and you can win any argument by turning society against you by pointing out how insulted you are. You then throw in, also, I noticed you didn't mention this, that. Way to be exclusionist. So, but the bottom line is, when it comes to sports, when it comes to that, you root for these things. If you're not rooting for it because your fucking house depends on it, which is a whole other aspect, but sports does matter to a lot of people that degree when they're betting shit, which not necessarily right.
Obviously,
always everything in moderation.
Taking betting out the equation, but keep going.
That's what I'm saying. Aside from the bettors,
that's understandable.
But like the fans in each city, when a team loses that has a city name attached to it, everyone in that city looks stupid for being in that. Like, cause look at people who live in like. Think about Cleveland fans, Detroit fans, fans of teams, Knicks fans, fans of teams who have been bad for the last like however many years. Hell.
50.
Look at the general perception of Cubs fans pre 2016. Look at the general perception of Bears fans.
Y'all
Look
still
at the general perceptions of Panthers fans, huh?
Y'all still cheering and rooting for that team, really?
Why don't you root for a winner? Fucking idiots.
Right.
Like, and when you hear that every day, if you like sports and anyone else who knows sports is going to react to you about how stupid you are, yeah, one person, two people, hell, 15 people, 25, 30, 100, and that's all you hear all the time, you're going to feel a certain way every time you hear it, and you're going to want to stop hearing that. So yes, sports and stuff and fandom matter to people because society makes it matter to people, because society judges you on that, because at the end of the day, you don't meet everybody for long periods of time to sit down and get to know them. Everything's first appearance, and if I like you on the first appearance, we'll go to the sec. So if you're already at a negative rapport with me because I see your ass with the fucking, or like if I'm already at a negative rapport with someone because they see me with a LeBron James, they're like, clearly this nigga don't know how to make any smart decisions. He rooted for the Lakers this year. They got
even if they think they're on a small percentage.
They just got embarrassed by the Nuggets.
People will live, like, I guess even if it's to a small extent.
How could this nigga like LeBron James when Michael Jordan existed?
I actually am following your point. I see what you're getting at.
But no, speaking of CM Punk though, man, how do y'all feel about him possibly coming on back to AEW on the Collision show? Right.
Hurry up so people can shut up about it.
Shut the fuck up, right?
You want to talk about people shutting up? See, this is my thing. All of a sudden, the internet is like I'm starting to see people be like, man, I hope it just happens. Bruh, why did everybody drag Brawl out for fucking months and months and months? I heard he kicked him with his left foot. I heard he kicked him with his right foot. I heard he kicked him with no shoes on. I heard that the whole time he actually really elbowed him.
This is still Brawl out, though, is what I'm telling you, Jazz.
Yeah, right. No, but I'm saying now all of a sudden people are getting fed up. When there was no wrestling news, or even when there was wrestling news, but there was still Brawl Out extra shit, I was over that shit at the time, and now it's like on top of it.
Yeah.
So yes,
do y'all
either let CM Punk be going or bring CM Punk back. But
do y'all want him back? Y'all ain't got no problem with him back, right?
But
yeah, I want him back.
I want CM Punk back. But my whole thing with it is this. Yeah. Do I think that CM Punk's whole legacy of who fucking he is and all that shit as fucking CM Punk from what I've seen and all that stuff with, like having these amazing matches, being one of the best promos, being one of the wrestlers who is amazing as both heel and face, all that shit. All of a sudden that's like gone because of the Brawl Out, like media scrum. No. But at the same time, do I fucking think that Brawl Out was warranted in what he do? No, man, he came off a fucking dick.
Oh, he was wrong for that.
He's a fucking asshole who was wrong as
He was
shit
wrong for that.
for what I saw.
I don't think he should be only remembered for Brawl Out, like you said.
But I don't think he should be only remembered for it. Exactly.
I will also say that while CM Punk had that summer and a couple years in the mid 20-teens where he was that dude, considering who we just compared him to in Eminem and LeBron, I don't think it's nearly the same scale. I'm sorry. Like, yeah, he had a couple years where he was that dude, but that's like, in the grand scheme of things, like 2 or 3 years. Because remember, immediately after that, the second it started to go downhill, he quit for 7 years. Because he didn't like that the spotlight wasn't still on him to the same degree he felt it should be. Not saying whether saying whether or not it was justified. Yes, it was justified. They should have used him more. Blah blah blah. CM Punk was the best hottest thing ever. Vince McMahon is known to be an idiot and not know the right person.
But that's not why he quit. He quit because they were fucking with his health. That's why he quit.
According to what his
health. Yeah.
He also talked about being pissed off that he wasn't the main event and instead it was Rock versus Cena.
Jericho did too, which
but
is
he's come around on
that. He's a fucking
celebrity. No, I'm not saying that you're.
I'm the champion. Where's my fucking main event? I agree with him. Like I said,
if you don't feel like that, then yeah, you shouldn't be where you are. So yeah.
I get why, but I'm saying, like, we mentioned LeBron, decade of running the East. Eminem, 2000s, running a decade, now being judged off of an album or two. LeBron
still considered one of the greatest
off of this most recent loss. Eminem, CM Punk, as opposed to a decade of look at me, I'm the crown on the top, as opposed to being that, like, people who watch the indies, lower section of fan darling, where it's like, we like this mid-card, I hope he really gets his chance one day, which is what he was for a long time. Until
he was the best thing to come out of the WWE ECW. Yes, and he was mid-card as fuck until so you're right.
So when he finally broke from that tier to that dude, the Summer of Punk, Pipe Bomb, fucking I got the championship 432 days. Day 433, he started, the second it started declining, his health may have also played into that. Not saying it hasn't, not saying it did. If he says it, let's go with what he's saying. But nonetheless, when that started to go down, he left.
Yeah,
he was
for whatever reason,
years. And that's a long time for people to forget about you when your peak was only like 2 or 3.
But I mean, Chappelle did the same thing, but that's what made him even bigger of a star.
But
same thing with CM Punk.
But when he came back, it wasn't that long before he disappeared.
Before some bullshit happened. It was just a year. It was literally like, I think it was like maybe 11.
It wasn't even a full year.
Like 11 months.
It wasn't even a full year. Not even sure if he made it to full gear. Sorry, I know he probably did, but I wanted to use that term. It wasn't even a full year, and by the time, just when they were starting to be, I think it was literally when they just put the belt on him.
Yeah, put it back on him. He got hurt, and then he did that bullshit.
Yeah. It was like, let's capitalize. Let's rerun this Summer of Punk and cement him. Let's cement him as what he's supposed to be remembered as. Injury, unfortunate. Again, his health's got in the way of everything. But he comes back, and they put the belt back on his ass, and then he's
like another injury or some
brawlouts. And then you hear all the backstage stuff on top of it. And so right when he's put in your spotlight, look at this motherfucker. Oh shit! We just forced you.
We did the impossible. We got CM Punk. Oh,
we just forced you to look at the wrong shit. I thought I was holding up a fucking like Goku statue, but it was fucking Yamcha. My bad.
Yajirobe shit. Even though I might not get that, but yeah. But I was gonna say this real quick because before like as we close out this, in that case, after what we named and where we going or whatever. The big question that gets brought up all the time. When you're on top like that, is it better to burn out or fade away? Because
He's
all
better
the
to burn out.
dudes that we named pretty much either could have done the burnout or the fade away.
Is
And they are
Tupac a burnout? Or Tupac and
Tupac is
Biggie
unfortunate-
burnouts?
He's unfortunately a burnout because his life.
I'm just asking in this metaphor.
He is, unfortunately, he is because his life ended at the peak. So yeah, he's a
So
burnout.
that's
I
what
think
you're
it's.
saying.
I think it's better to burn out because people remember you. You just fade away.
Like
Nobody
Biggie
forgets about
is the burnout because he only had 2 albums.
Yeah,
and then-
exactly. So Tupac and Biggie are burnouts versus your Eminems who's fading away.
Well, he's fading away. Yeah.
He
But
is,
no.
yeah.
I'm saying no. I think it's better to burn out than fade away because when you burn out, you pretty much go out with a bang. You know, when you fade away, people forget about you. So yeah.
Well, okay. Is it? Let's say you fade away, but you still fade away. Maybe not at the tip top that you were, but you fade away still doing quality stuff.
But you can't fade away doing quality stuff, do you?
No.
No, you can fade away. Like let's say you were like on 10,
Well,
10,
you can.
10, 10,
You can.
and then
But
you
nobody
fade
would
away
have
on,
heard
like
it, though.
sevens
Yeah.
and shit. You know what I mean?
Nobody would have heard it. Yeah, nobody would have seen it.
Actually,
Like a movie that's like really fucking good, but nobody ever saw it though. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
all right. So not because he died or anything, and yes, the Wizards years happened, but for the case in point of resumes and stuff, Michael Jordan's was shorter and he took 2 years off, so he had less of a sample size. However, he was bright as fuck for the majority of the time that sample size existed.
fucking.
Oh,
So
yeah.
Mike-
Oh,
so-
Yeah.
In the sense of your argument, because you know me, if I try to take it apart too much, we'll be here another 20 minutes. But so for the sake of
We
this
already on time,
argument,
right?
I'm going to say Michael Jordan is burnout and LeBron is fade away. Because that's what he's doing. Because he's been around for 20 years. He's losing more and more in the later years, and more. He's losing in ways he never did before last year. Dude had at least one thing he had over Jordan before last year was never losing in the first round. He always made it to the second round. He did that. Mm-hmm. He was not a guy that got swept, and he was a guy that always showed up for elimination games and did that. He didn't got swept multiple times these past years. He was a dude that never missed the playoffs. He done started doing that. He's had to struggle to just make the playoffs the past 3 years. He is burning, or he is fading away. His career's still here, but it's not. His case for GOAT is getting weaker every year.
Is a better RIP, even though his career was over before his tragic passing, but is a better candidate for burnout for this comparison, Kobe?
Yeah, Kobe faded away. Kobe faded away.
Did he fade away or did he burn out? He had a long career.
He faded
Okay,
away.
sure.
Kobe faded
the
away.
Bottom line is,
Kobe.
I was just trying to say, I answer your question using 2 examples.
No.
Anyway, go ahead.
But let me say.
I
I was gonna say.
Well, let me finish his and then you say yours.
Okay.
Let him
All right,
talk.
go ahead, go
I've
ahead.
been cutting him off. Talk, Ibn.
Okay, good.
Okay, no, I was gonna say Kobe faded away because you remember when he tore his Achilles, right? Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And after he tore his Achilles, he was never the same. So he pretty much faded away after that. He never had a good season after that ever again.
Okay, bottom line is, whether it's Kobe or LeBron, if you want to be Michael Jordan or one of the other two, you're going to choose to be Michael Jordan every time. So,
Hey, why you so mad? Why you so mad, bro?
Because that's what I was trying to fucking say. And
I would say
for trying to use LeBron.
I wasn't trying to attack you. I wasn't trying to attack you. I was just trying to have a discussion. I would say in rap, graceful fading away would be like a Jay-Z. He's gracefully fading.
Yeah.
Because Jay-Z, he had like a little dip, but the man had a million classics. Just did 444. Did the Carters with his fucking wife. You know, man.
He'll always go down one of the greatest of all
But he
time.
never
One of the
really
greatest of all
released
time.
anything shitty. He just went out on top, right?
Yeah, he's
done
releasing
anything
shitty
in a
stuff.
while?
Ibn checked his
He's come out with some shitty
discography.
stuff.
Ibn said, man,
Dude.
like, no, he released some shit according to what
okay.
Rose said. Yeah.
Blueprint 2 and Kingdom Come are some shitty fucking albums, my man.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god. Trash.
But anyway, all that being said, everybody, as you can see, great conversation, clearly by the fact that we have carried over. I don't even know how long until we look back at this when we've uploaded. We can keep it even, keep it going. But for the sake of closing out, if you would like to follow us on our respective socials, first off, before I even do that, join in on the conversation, What did you think of, the playoffs happening right now? You feel me? What do you think of rappers or music artists for that matter, such as an Eminem or anybody who's still doing the do, or wrestlers or any athletes, or let's say artists in general, like actors who are doing what they do? Like I mentioned Dave Chappelle. What do y'all think about that? What do you think about the whole burnout fade away conversation? Join in. Word. Anyway, if you want to follow us on our respective socials, then you can go ahead and follow yours truly. Anywhere you stream your music, I go by the name of Superjaz. That's spelled Superjaz. Go ahead and look me up on the streaming platforms. I dropped my debut solo album, My Secret Identity, back in 2021. You may have to look up Superjaz, My Secret Identity, because I'm not that famous yet. Also, go ahead and find and follow me on Twitter under the handle Superjaz2. So that's Superjaz number 2. And go ahead and follow me on Instagram under the name Forever Superjaz, the word forever spelled correctly. And if you happen to be in the St. Louis area, well, first of all, I started a production company and I am producing plays. The plan is to go ahead and produce one once a year. So Aquarian Rising Productions, like the page on Facebook. The inaugural show is June 16th that weekend, and then the next weekend, 517 Theater Lane. If you happen to be in the St. Louis area, $15 at the door. Where can they find you, Pete?
They can find me here. I do want to say one more thing. A man only truly dies when he's forgotten, and burnouts are remembered forever. So I want to be a burnout.
There you go.
That said, you can find me here every week, every Wednesday on the Whatever We Want podcast. You can also find me elsewhere on YouTube on the channel Feogrande. That is F-E-O Grande. I have a show on that channel with a good friend of mine and good friend of the show, Bill Smith, called This Guy Hasn't Seen. If you weren't listening, we did a thing about the Cardinals 2011 World Series documentary this week on our channel, and not exactly sure what next week is, but I'm sure it's fun too. Go ahead, subscribe, find out. We have over a year's worth of content there, just like we have over 2 years worth of content here. We out here in these streets. I can actually say, as opposed to last episode, I'm up to something. Minor, but up to something nonetheless. We'll give details when I'm sure whether or not I can.
Pretty dope.
And yeah, Ibn, you got anything you want to say to the folks? Anything you want to say to the folks out there?
Every time I'm on here, I'll always say don't find me because I don't want y'all finding me.
You have
really
mentioned wanting to be found.
I have, but I still always say don't find me.
Okay.
I mean, you can follow me. You can follow me on Twitter at ibdude, IBDUDE. But I mean, I'm pretty boring, man. All I tweet about is wrestling and sports.
You mean all you talk about when you come on here?
Pretty much.
It's the reason people want to see you.
Oh,
You know what you're talking about.
boom.
I just be up here saying shit. Anyway, blah blah. I hate Boston teams. Blah blah. I mean, it's true.
I will say this though. Go Heat.
Hit me, Butler.
Jimmy Butler.
Well,
Timothy Buckets.
Jimmy fucking Buckets. Let's fucking go.
Hit me, Neutron.
I ain't even gonna do my whether it be about this and all that shit because of that.
Basketball, wrestling, etc. What are we gonna talk about?
Football too.
That too.
Be nice to yourself, everybody.
Whatever you want. That's the answer to the question. Adios-ness.
Bitch.
Yes. Bitch.